poppin' YouTube? It's your girl Caressa Renee, and I'm back with a story time. Story time. Alright, so today's story is about the friend from hell. Yes, you heard right, the friend from hell. So, the friend from hell, we gotta give her a name. Her name is Cuckoo. So, we're gonna get into her. But before we do that, I also have another person in the story. Her name is Delusional. And Delusional is really not important, but she's the link to how I met Cuckoo. Biggest mistake, both of them. So, alright. So, Delusional was my friend for a minute. Delusional was cool. Like, we have been friends for years. I'm going to say the first few years, A1, day one, cool. It seemed like once we got into like that, maybe fourth year being friends, I started to see like she had too much going on. She just would meet random people, just sweat at her friends, and just really had these people that she met or just met back more than she had mine. And we've been friends for a minute. So that's the reason why she's delusional. And every time she would take up for these people or try to justify these people's actions, they play her dumb every time. Okay. Alright, so Delusional dating Cuckoo's brother. Okay, so Delusional ended up getting pregos, and pretty much, I don't know if it was the pregnancy, or I don't know if she was stressed, I don't know if just her true feelings was coming out, but she started acting real shitty, real shady, real funny acting, and I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I don't like it. Don't like it. Alright, so when she started doing that, I really quit speaking to her. When I would see her, we worked together. So I would just really just blow past her like she didn't even exist, and vice versa. Okay, so Cuckoo will come up there to visit Delusional, check on the baby, all that stuff. She's trying to be a good sis-in-law. Well, not even a sis-in-law, good auntie, because they weren't married. But be a good auntie. So we had ended up all just, we get together. It's all a good time. Last, we having fun, kikiing. So I ended up getting Cuckoo's number. And Cuckoo got my number. So we ended up chopping it on the phone. And then it kind of turned into a bash Delusional. It kind of turned into that group chat where we only talking about Delusional and just how delusional she is and just her delusional antics. Just call her delusional. We go on about our business. So I'm starting, like, okay, she pretty cool. My other friend, who doesn't need a name because she's not really in the story, she was like, I don't like Cuckoo. Something about it I don't like. And you know what? She got a good eye for that type of stuff. I was like, nah, she's straight. Okay, well, I'ma see. I'm a type of person. I gotta see for myself. You gotta do something for me to just cut you off. Like, I just can't be like, something about you I don't like, and then I cut you off. Now I gotta have a real legit reason. But I wish I would have listened to her. But that's neither here nor there. We here now. All right, so she, my friend, quit fooling with Cuckoo and went on about her business, but I was still fooling with Cuckoo. So it went from chit chatting, kikiing on the phone to start going to her house. She didn't stay that far from me, so I'm going over her house. We having a good old funky time. We laughing, chopping it up. Her kids crazy. We just having a good old time. Okay, so fast forward to a few months. I was talking to Blade. If y'all see one of my older story times or previous story times, I talked about Blade. So if you want to know who Blade is, go back and watch that. So anyway, so she went and told Blade something I told her. So I told her one day, probably like a couple of weeks from when she told him. I was like, why such and such from our hood trying to talk to me on Facebook? They in my inbox, and I just left them on scene. I was like, oh, you wildin'? Nah, you like one of my friends from back in the days, Kim folks. And I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to talk to you. You like a little boy to me. Okay, so that was that. He was still talking, left it on scene, didn't reply back. So I told her that, okay, a couple of weeks prior. So I'm over Blade's house. So I'm, like, hey, Blade. Hey, babe. And Blake like, man, going on with all that. I ain't trying to hear all that right now. So he just got a whole attitude. So I was over there about an hour and 30 minutes. And I'm like, yo, what's up? What's good with this attitude? I was like, because I ain't did nothing to you. He was like, oh, so you ain't did nothing? I was like, I ain't absolutely did nothing to you. He was like, I heard you was trying to talk to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? But in my mind, I'm like, who told him that? But I'm not thinking of Cuckoo. Because literally, I said that and went on about my life. So he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Now, he didn't say that. He was like, nah, don't worry about it, though. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, so you wasn't trying to talk to him? I was like, nah, I wasn't trying to talk to him. So now it's getting real heated. Like, we about to square up. I'm in his face. He in my face. I'm looking around trying to figure out what I can hit him with because I feel like this is going to go real left. So he like, nah, look at me. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to find something to bush you over the head with. But but so he like, yeah, I'm about to call him right now, and don't you say nothing, and I'm gonna ask him. So I'm like, call him. So he gets on the phone, trying to say the N word, but you know how ninjas do. So he got on the phone. He was like, what? He was like, talk to Caressa. He was like, nah, man, she trying to talk to me. I'm like, excuse me? He doing this like, shut up. He like, so she trying to talk to you. He was like, yeah. He was like, but I ain't even reply to that. Had to grab my little, these ain't even pearls, but I had to grab my invisible pearls at the time. So So I'm like, no, 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 I'm not gonna sit here and let this go. I'm like, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So you didn't write me on Facebook in my inbox talking about what's up with me and blah, 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 blah. He like, what? He like, he started laughing. He's like, nah, I ain't do that. You tripping. Must got me confused with somebody else. So I'm like, I get my phone. I pick my phone up. I'm scrolling, 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 going through the messages, going through the messages. So I'm like, here's where it starts. So he reading the message. Next thing you know, blah blah blah, just click, hang up, cause he already know what time it is. So he looking, he like, dang. He's like, why you ain't saying that? I mean, I was like, he really trying to pick a fight with me. He really trying to make me wrong some kind of way. So I'm like, I ain't tell you because it was nothing to tell. He's like, nah, that's bogus, that's whack. So next thing you know, we get the fight. So we tussling. He pulling my hair. We doing all of this. Baby, we was fighting up in there. I ain't gonna hold you. It got real bad. By the time I got up out of there, wig was hanging like this. Heavy on this. Like, heavy. Ugh. Yeah, I'm using the viewfinder to put my wig back on. Hopefully it's back. But anyway, so I'm big mad. So first thing I'm thinking of, I'm like cuckoo. So I'm getting in my car, I'm racing over there. I'm like, yo, I ain't even knock on the door. I walked in her crib because I was big mad. Wig sitting on the back of my five head. I mean, it was back when they was gluing. I mean, they was like the little what do you call them? The little sew ins. So my my little not frontal. What do they call the little piece top? The little 5x5 closure. That's what it's called. The little closure is gone. Don't even know where it's at. It's probably at Blade House. All I got is like just tracks. And like I said, they were hanging by the thread, and one side didn't even have tracks. So I looked at a mess. So I'm like, yo, why you tell Blade what I told you? She's like, I didn't tell him that. I didn't say that. I mean, really convincing, really put on the act. She was like, where would I say that? When? She was like, did he say I said that? I was like, no, he wouldn't tell me, but you the only person that I told. She was like, well, don't you think maybe blah, blah, blah had told him that? And, got him, all gassed up. She's like, I swear. She's like, on my kid's life. I didn't do it. So I'm like, dang. All right. My bad. I didn't mean to bust in your house like that. My fault. All right. So, boom. That was sign number one. Red flag. But I ain't even paying no attention. So maybe like a week and a half later, I'm back over her house like a big dummy, keying it up. Okay, so she had told me she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. Surprise, I'm pregnant." She was like, and I'm like 3, 4 months pregnant. So I'm like, "Congratulations! Oh my God!" I'm like, "I'm so happy for you." Okay, so we fast forward. I'm gonna say she's about 7 months now. So she comes up with this bright idea. She was like, "Yo, I'm about to drop this baby real soon, and look, they having what is All Star Weekend? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just getting bad. Like I'm amped up. But she was like, they have an All Star Weekend in Las Vegas. Come, I think it was January, February. I think it's January. Whenever All Star Weekend, in January, February. I know it's like cold. So she's like, "You wanna go?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But you got a baby in your belly, and your baby probably ain't gonna be but maybe like 2 or 3 months old about that time. I ain't got no kids, so what you gonna do about that?" So she's like, "Oh, girl, don't worry about it. I got a babysitter, Miss Such and Such. She love me. She said she can't wait to keep my baby and do this, that, and the third. So it's nothing." So I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let's do it then." Okay. So I ended up leaving that day, but we back on the phone. So I'm like, "Yo, you serious about this Vegas?" She's like, "Hell yeah, I'm serious about Vegas." She was like, "I'm looking up tickets, looking up flights, looking up this, looking up that." She's like, "We going." I'm like, "Bet, we going." All right, so about maybe 3 weeks had passed from that conversation. So she hits me up like 8 o'clock. She like, "Hey, I just bought my ticket." She's saying this through a text message. She's like, "I just got my ticket," and she sent me like a screenshot of the ticket she purchased. So it's saying like ticket bought um for this date, this time, Las Vegas, from Little Rock to Las Vegas, to Las Vegas back to Little Rock. Southwest is saying pay, how much she paid, all of that. So I'm like, "Ooh, my girl not playing. Sis not playing. We going to Vegas." So I'm like, "Okay, bet." I'm like, "I'm getting mine right now." So I hopped on Southwest, put the same dates in, same time, everything. This is, mind you, this is back in 2013, and like the flight was cheap, mad cheap. Like it was literally like there and back on Southwest was like 489 or something like that, and that was with tax and all. So I'm like, "Bet." So I sent her my screenshot. Oh, hold on, y'all. Excuse the wig if it's light. I'm a little hot too. I'm sweating. But anyway, y'all don't care. So I'm like, "I got mine. What you want to do? Like, what's up?" So she's like, "Send me the screenshot." So I sent her the screenshot of me purchasing the flight. I'm hype. I'm amped up. We get on the phone now. We like, "Yes, bitch. We finna do this, this, that, and the third." And then plus around the time I was losing weight, like losing mad weight. Like I was getting skinny good. Like I was getting many. I might put a picture in, but anyway. So I'm losing weight, looking good. I done shook Blade. Like I'm not talking to him no more because we got the fighting. So I'm like, "Oh, the niggas, where the niggas? Where's the niggas? The niggas is out." It's all stuff. I'm like, I'm up here really thinking I'm that great. I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to get me a celebrity. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. Just big talk." So, all right. So let's fast forward. So we fast forward a couple of months. Miss Mamas has her child, real cute little baby on coochie 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 coo. All right, so I'm over her house. The baby like almost that month and a half now. So I'm over the house. I'm over her house. So the baby sleep. I'm like, "Okay, cool. We just chopping it up. Kids playing around." And I had came over there. It was like probably like 4 or 5. So I come over there and I'm kicking it. So it gets about probably like 3 hours. So I'm getting tired. I'm ready to go home. Like I'm tired of seeing your little kids run around. We keying, we having a good little time, but it ain't that cute. It ain't that of a key. So I'm like, "Well, girl, I'm gonna get ready and go." And it's like every time I would say that, she would spark up a good conversation or something funny to keep me there. So I look up, mind you, I said I came over like 4 or 5. Now it's like 8 o'clock. And I'm like, "Oh, it's definitely time to go. I'm tired." So, oh, and let me run it back. She moved, so she didn't stay down the street from me anymore. She moved because she was having a baby, so she needed a bigger place. So she moved. Not, it's still in the same area. It's just further out. Like where she stayed before, I probably could walk to her house if I just wanted to. Now I couldn't walk to her house. So I'm like, girl, I'm ready to go. I'm getting tired. I'm yawning. You know, the kids then got tired out. They done settled down. I'm like, girl, I'm ready to go. And then she just kept just reeling me back in. So finally, I gets up and she's still talking to me. And next thing you know, her phone rings. So her phone rings. She's like, oh, I'll be right back. I gotta take this. I gotta take this. So I'm like, girl, I'm gonna go. She's like, no, wait. And she ran to the bag. So I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm a type of person when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Like I don't like no hold-ups. That's why I drive my own car everywhere I want to go. And if you ride with me, you gonna leave when I leave. If not, you can stay and find your own ride. Okay. So she's on the phone. I hear her back there talking, but I can't hear what she's saying. I'm like, what is she doing? It's like 20 minutes now. I'm like, rude much? I'm ready to go, bitch. So I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go, cuckoo. She's like, okay, here I come, here I come. So it's another 15 minutes. So now I'm sitting here like 35 minutes, literally waiting on her to get off the phone. So she's still talking. So I'm like, go in there and get your mama. So I saw one of the kids in there. She's like, okay, tell her here I come. So I'm thinking she just on the phone with her man, her baby daddy, and I'm just like, maybe they cupcake and maybe they talking some nasty stuff. I don't know what they doing, but I'm ready to go. So I end up getting up and I'm like, like I don't go in her room, but I go into like a little, like right before her room and I scream, I'm about to go. I'll see you later. Deuces. And she's like, oh, go, hold on. She's like, well, let me call you back. So she gets out the phone and it's like she's still trying to keep me there. Like, we're walking down her steps and she's still talking to me, still like trying to hold me there. Okay. So now her man pops up and he's like, oh, what's up, Chris? I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. So as he's out there chit chatting, talking to me, I hear this loud like a vehicle is coming fast. So next, I hear like that, like a abrupt stop, and I look up, and it's Blade. Blade hops out his truck. I mean, he didn't even put that mug in park good. He hopped that mug still going. He hopping out the truck, and he like, "What's up? What's up?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm shook. I'm like, "Hello, hi, how are you doing?" Good, me too. He hops out, but he hops out with with the thing like the big thing, not but the big thing. And he's pointing at me, and I instantly just freeze. Like I'm in shock, y'all. Like everything is going in slow motion. Sound like they saying, but they're really saying, "Girl, Caressa, run!" But I can't hear nothing. I'm like, I just see it, and it's just staring me down. So her boyfriend jumps in between me and him. He's like, "Oh, whoa. Blade, you don't want to do that. Blade, that's crazy. You don't want to do that. Don't do that here. My kids here. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Whatever y'all got going on, please don't do that." And I'm like, what you mean whatever we got going on? I haven't seen him in a minute. So, like, I'm still in shock. He was like, hey, get in your car and go. So he's like, hello. I'm like, yeah. So I get in my car and I'm, y'all, at the time I was driving a Chevy HHR. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Baby, that's a school bus. A mini, that's a slow bus, as they say. Not calling anybody slow, but I'm just saying my car is the slow bus, not the small bus that people need to, use. Let me just clear that up. But literally, if you got in my car, it's a slow bus because that's what it looked like, and it was orange, almost the same color as a school bus. I know. It seemed like it was a good, yeah, you get it. So I'm talking about that's a family car, a wagon. So I'm scared. I got that bitch on two wheels. You hear me? I don't know which two it was. I don't know if it was the two left ones, on the left side, the two on the right side, the front or the back. But that bitch was on two wheels. I promise you, I skirted up out of that motherfucker. So for some reason, I thought he was chasing me. So I'm gunning it. I'm literally doing like 65. But for the HHR, that was gunning it. So I'm gunning it in my car. Like, I'm gunning it in my car. Like, pedal to the metal, to the flow. Flowing that bitch. So I hurry up and get to my crib. I get to my house. So I'm just sitting in the driveway, shocked. Like I am shook. I'm sweating bullets. I'm just not thinking clear. Like everything is, it's like fast and slow at the same time. Like out of body experience, swear. And it was just like I ain't do the like my life flashed for my eyes type thing. It was more like I'm just doing emotions, but my mind ain't really putting two and two together of what I'm really doing. I think it was just like off of just memory of driving so long that you just know how to drive, but you ain't thinking about the whole situation, like because it was somewhere familiar. But yeah, my heart was beating out my chest. I'm sweating, and I just instantly just start bawling, like just crying in my car, like crying uncontrollably, just the ugly cry. And I'm like, I'm just bamming on my steering wheel. I'm just going off, y'all. So I get myself together. I stayed up for like 10 minutes just bawling. So finally, something just said to me, bitch, get yourself together. He might be out here lurking. He might be hiding somewhere trying to get you. So I'm like, oh shit. So I just get real still. Heart still going. And I just start looking around. I'm looking because it's dark. So it's like, my vision. Y'all see how thick these glasses is? Y'all know I can't see in no dark. So I'm looking. I'm like, thank God I didn't have like a whole bunch of trees or bushes in my yard. So I'm looking. I'm like, okay, the coast look clear. So I just hurried up, grabbed my keys, got my purse, and just hit it up in the house. So once I got in the house, locked all the doors, beep boop, hit the car. I just went to my room and I was just sitting in the dark, like still. I mean, I don't know why. It's just like I felt like he was outside my house somewhere. But in all actuality, he wasn't. So Cuckoo blowing my phone up, and she's calling me, calling me, calling me. She's blowing me up, sending me texts. And she did this for like 3 hours straight, just blowing my phone up. And as she's blowing my phone up, I'm sitting in my bed, like I said, in the dark, scared but pissed. And I'm like, she has something to do with that. She definitely did. That bitch had something to do with that shit. That was me. That was it. So I'm like, but I ain't gonna say nothing. And I didn't answer her phone for the rest of that night. It took me 3 days to finally answer her call. She was like, hey. She was like, are you good? Are you okay? I haven't called. I've been so worried about you. I almost came to your crib. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. She was like, yo, I don't know why Blade did that. That's wild. That's crazy. And I'm like, mm-hmm. She's like, are you good though? Like, you're not saying nothing? And I said, hey, Cuckoo, let me ask you something straight up. Did you call him over there? Because how did he know I was over your house? And she was like, girl, my kids and he had a whole, why would I do that? She was like, that's stupid. What if he would have, offed you and decided to off everybody in the house? She's like, girl, no, definitely not. Hell no. No, I did not. So I'm like, damn. That do kind of sound convincing because that could have went left real quick. So I'm like, okay, okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, well, let me call you back. I just needed some time. So I ended up hitting her back like a week later after that conversation. So she hit me up. She's like, hey, girl. She's like, I was giving you space. I know that was crazy and blah, 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 blah. So she's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm good. I'm better. I had time to decompress. I just need to take a step back from life, all that good stuff. So she was like, girl, our trip coming up. I was like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So our trip was literally in 2 weeks. So she was like, go ahead and book us the hotel. So I went ahead and booked the hotel. So the hotels are booked. We got to pay when we get there. Plane is booked. She said she was going to take care of the rental car. So we good. We Gucci. We in there. We going to Vegas, baby. So, okay, cool. So, mind you, the next week, still this Vegas talk, everything cool. Now, the week before Vegas, which this week I'm talking about, baby, a whole 360. Here she go. Oh, my man tripping. He talking about he not gonna keep the baby. And I'm trying to get a hold of Miss such and such. She talking about she was gonna keep him once he got a little bit older. And blah blah. It's me. And she just blah, 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 this, that, and the third about this baby. So I'm like, cuckoo. Do you got somebody to keep the baby or not? She's like, girl, don't worry about it. Girl, I mean, I might not can't go, but you still should go. I'm like, what? Cuckoo, do you got somebody to keep your baby? She's like, I'm working on it. But she was like, let me call you right back. Let me go call her now. So she gets off the phone with me. I'm like, okay. So I called her back the next day because she never called me back. So she didn't answer. So then the next day, I called her again. She didn't answer. And then she finally called me back that Friday. So she's like, girl, I've been so busy with work, this, that, and the third, this baby, getting these kids together. Sorry, y'all. This wig is just, I'm done with it. It's slipping and sliding like Nicki Minaj up in here. But yeah. So I'm like, so do you got a babysitter or not? She's like, girl, I'm just probably, I just, girl, everybody's just, they don't want to see me do nothing. He don't want to keep my man to me. He didn't even want me to go. I just had a baby, blah, blah, blah. And this, that, and the third, talking about, when you just had them babies, the Uchi be wet. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So she was like, but I'm going to figure something out. Okay. So that kind of pissed me off. So I'm like, I'm going to let her figure it out because the figuring out better be, yeah, we still going. So now, this is literally the day of. So I arranged for my father to take us to the airport. And once we got back, he was going to take us home. So he called me. He's like, oh, didn't you say you needed to go to the airport today? And I'm like, yeah, that's at 3 p.m. though. He called me like early, like 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, oh, okay, that's fine, cool. So I call her. I'm like, hey, you got that babysitter situation together? She's like, girl, I'm still working on it, but I don't think I'm be able to go. Blah blah. This all about this baby stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, you still got time. I might as well call me delusional, cause baby, it's the day of 8 o'clock, and I'm still telling you gonna find a babysitter by 2. No, actually about 1. Yeah, I was young and dumb. All right, so it's 12 o'clock. She called me. She like, girl, I don't nobody want to keep him. I ain't got nobody to keep him. I don't know what to do. So I'm quiet because now I'm big mad. I'm stupid mad. Like, I'm seeing red. I'm not saying she just really talking, really selling me this sad sob story. So, as she talking, I'm like, cuckoo. She's like, huh? I'm like, bitch, why the fuck did you have me spend this money and do all this, do all of that, make all these arrangements, and you knew the fuck you didn't have no baby? I'm just going off. Like, the way I was going off, I can't even say it on YouTube. I didn't say it too much with the cussing. And she was like, girl, it's not my fault. I just had a baby. I said, I know. So why would you plan a trip knowing that you don't have people to keep your baby? She's like, well, first of all, that's real rude. I just had a baby. I'm going through a lot trying to send me on this guilt trip about this postpartum. Just got, man, girl, please. Girl, bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Because, you ain't going to, you ain't going to guilt trip me and make it seem like I'm being insensitive. So I'm like, so we not going. She was like, well, I'm not. You can go. Click. Hung up in her face. Hung up in her face. You just had me drop $500 on a ticket that you knew damn well back then that you wasn't even going. But let me tell you what the gag is. Let me tell you what the gag is. So, I didn't talk to her no more. That was it. That was it. That was it. So, I happened to see her baby's father on my side of town. And he was just speaking. He was like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you since that incident. And he's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm pissed at your lady. He's like, what she do now? I said, she had me buy these $500 tickets, and she told me she ain't nobody keep them. He bust out laughing. He was like, man. He was like, I can't believe you fell for that. She never bought no tickets. She took a picture of some tickets that somebody else had bought that was going to Vegas, that wanted her to go, but she couldn't go. Y'all, my mouth dropped. I'm like, say what, sir? Say it again. Beg your pardon? He said, yeah, she never bought them tickets. He was like, somebody sent her a picture and was like, oh, better get yours or something like that. And she was like, no, she ain't had no money. She ain't had a babysitter and she just had a baby. He's like, so, he's like, I can't believe you thought she was really going somewhere. You thought I was going somewhere? That bitch is dumb. Bitch, she hit the ice spice on me. You thought I was feeling you? That bitch is dumb. So I'm like, what? He like, yeah. He's like, man, I told her the day she sent that stuff, stop playing. But, yeah, she crazy. I was like, that bitch more than crazy. That bitch stupid. So, y'all, I wanted to beat her ass. I wanted to beat her ass. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just use the ticket for something else. Basically, another trip in my mind. And I said, you know what? I was like, that's crazy. I said, I appreciate you for telling me that, and that's cool. You know, have a good day. See you later. And I had already had in my mind, she's blocked. So I blocked her. Blocked her, deleted her number. Anybody that was associated with her, blocked, deleted their number, not speaking to you. Okay, so literally 2 months went by. 2 months. I was in the hair store that's like right around the corner from where she lived. Wasn't thinking. I keep forgetting I got an orange school bus. It's noticeable. People know that guy. So I'm in the hair store with my homeboy. We're going to give him a little name. His name TT. So me and TT, we in the hair store. And I'm like, TT, I need some stuff to grow my hair. And he like, what, girl, what you trying to do? So we in there looking. We having a kiki. Just having a good old time in the hair store looking for stuff. So we standing over there. And you know how like you get to playing like with the little at the hair store, they little weird looking shoes like the Chinese slippers and all this. You know, no shade to the Chinese or Asians. It's just a Chinese slipper. I just want to clear that up. But anyway, so we laughing at the little shoes and just like, you know, they be having some wild shoes in it sometimes. Next thing you know, I look to the corner of my eye this way. And it's like I saw somebody come in and I heard Caressa. Oh my God, where have you been? I've been trying to reach you, girl. Like just the fakeness. Like you just so happy to see me. So TT looking like, who is this? And I'm just looking at her. She's like, girl, I saw that car. I was like, I know that's her in that hair store. I just had to stop by and say hey to you. And I'm just looking like with a piss face. I'm big pissed. And I'm like, why you here? Why you speaking to me? Like, don't tell me you just stopped to say hey to me. Please tell me you was getting something out this hair store. She's like, oh my God, you look good. You look so good. You lost so much weight. And TT just started laughing because the way I'm looking at her, like, I want to kill you. I want a Bart Simpson choke her right now. That's what I want to do. I want a Bart Simpson choke her and like just shake her. And she like, oh well, girl, I'm finna get ready to go. I just wanted to say, hey, I miss you, girl. And I'm just looking up and down. So she leave. So TT was like, why you play her like that? Who was that? And I explained to him the story. He was like, oh. He was like, He was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, but anyways, hair flips don't care. So that was it. I didn't see her no more, thank God. But I did hear she got hit by a train. I don't know if that's karma or what, but she did get hit by a train. But she lived. She lived. But I didn't see her anymore. I don't talk to her anymore. The last time I heard, she's moved. Thank you, God. She's not in my city anymore. She's a mess. But y'all, that is my story about the friend from hell. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Am I reaching? Am I pushing it with calling her the friend from hell, or does it fit? Because baby, I feel like every twist and turn I look around, she's causing chaos, a mess in my life. She almost had my life taken. I don't care what nobody says. She denied it, but to this day, how would he know I'm at your house? You don't even fool with him like that. You fool with him, but not like that. So he just be riding around your neighborhood and chilling in your neighborhood. Your neighborhood ain't even that type of neighborhood that he be in. Okay? So I knew it was a lie. But y'all, that's it. That's my story about the friend from hell, Miss Cuckoo Bird herself. If you liked the story, definitely let me know down in the below. Let me know if you had a friend from hell like Miss Cuckoo Bird. Share the video and also check out my vlogs. I don't know if I'm entertaining or not, but y'all let me know. It's not trap season, it's tap season. Tap that like button. Yeah.